Alright, welcome to Old World Gaming. In this episode I am going to be making a giant for my Goblin army. A little while back I ordered Stormbringer issue 60 and 61 because they came with a giant, and like each magazine was a tenner, so 20 quid for a giant is very good considering it's like 40 quid to buy them from Games Workshop. So there we go, bargain, half price. So I couldn't miss out on that. So now I'm going to be using. I mean, this one, I remember when this came out. I was working at Games Workshop at the time, 2005. I don't know if you can see that there. There you go, 2005. And obviously comes with a square base, which I guess means that all of the Age of Sigmar giants come with this square base, confusing poor Age of Sigmar players. So there we go. So I need some muscle for my goblins, particularly as I've got a narrative campaign which I'm going to be doing with my mates in about a month's time, just under a month's time, and there will be a siege involved. So a giant with a big old club will be quite handy for smashing down a castle gate. In fact, you may have seen the video that I released, I don't know, almost a week ago, which was me trying out a siege with my youngest son, and the giant did exactly that and managed to smash the gate in with the help of the snotlings and their pump wagon. If you haven't watched that, go check it out. It was a lot of fun. So there we go. So that giant though that I used in that battle was from my Warhammer Quest set. I painted up all the orcs and goblins that I needed to play Warhammer Quest with, which included a giant. So that's why, in fact, the army that I used for that game was all Warhammer Quest bad guys. So they've all got their bases are all like dark grey, and they've got like tiles and stuff on. I don't know. I just like to have my armies themed. So this guy is going to be themed to go with my goblins, my Night Goblin army. I am tempted. I don't know if I will, but I'm kind of tempted to put like a hood on his head, like the new Mega Gargants, whatever the massive giant's called. One of those guys has got, it looks like an executioner hood on his head. Looks like he'd fit in quite nicely with Night Goblins, but who knows? I probably won't. I could, but I probably won't. Anyway, let's get started. I know there's instructions in here, but I don't think you really need instructions to build this giant. But why not? Let's have a look at the instructions anyway. Aleguzzler Gargant. That's more or less how I want to make him. I probably won't give him a cage, and I'm thinking might just give him the tree trunks, because there's one in here. Let me open the other one. So I can work out where the edges are. This one, they're packed differently. Yeah. Oh, considering they're one issue apart, the fact that they've got different packaging surprises me. This one's like taped down. I say taped down, glued down. Whereas this one is open like a pack of crisps, or a Magic the Gathering booster pack. But there we go. Not that matters. No one cares. Right. Fell on the floor. The Age of Sigmar base. Ooh. Don't need that. When's that? 2013. It must have been. What was that for? I don't know. I'm trying to think what in 40k came on one of these, because Age of Sigmar didn't come out till 2015, 16. This is 2013, so I don't know, something in 40k. It doesn't quite look the right shape for a bike base. I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. Right. Oh, this has got some sort of Age of Sigmar poster with it as well. Oh, a map. Everyone loves a map. yeah, there we go. I mean, I say everyone loves a map. I love a map. I really, really, really do like a map. For a long time, I've been wanting to make a video on the interactive map that they've done for the Old World. I just haven't got around to it yet. So yes, here we go. This is the one I might use. It's got a gravestone, so it's whether I go for that arm with the gravestone or this arm with the spiky bits. Well, I don't have to decide that right now, so that's okay. Right, anyway, let's put that over here. And let's see, I might as well follow the instructions, I guess, since we've got them. This dwarf, it's rather tall for a dwarf. But what do I know? Okay, so sub-assemblies, great. How to build sub-assemblies, but I'm building a giant. But that's not relevant. How to build an Aleguzzler Giant. Aleguzzler Gargant, or as he's commonly known, a giant in the Warhammer world. Yeah, blah blah blah. Build his body, stick his pants on, get him dressed, his legs and his knees. I mean, I've built one of these guys before. Yeah, so I made one of these into a slave giant for my Dark Elves, because when they first brought the giant, this particular model out, they wanted to sell loads of them, obviously, because it was quite expensive. This at the time was a large kit. Yeah, to try and sell more, they told you could use it in loads of different armies. They brought a Dogs of War profile out for it in whatever issue of White Dwarf it came out in, and you could have them in Dark Elf armies and Empire armies as well, rather than just Chaos and Beastmen and Orcs and Goblins. I feel like there were more than just 2 armies though. I can't remember what other armies they let you use them in. But yeah, it was a bunch of armies. I only cared about Dark Elves because that was the main army that I had at the time. And I had Orcs and Goblins. But, anyway, this builder's body, put that over there for now. And we will stick his body together. I don't know, I've mentioned this in previous videos, but if this is the first video that you're watching me build something, these side cutters or clippers that you get from places like, this is Army Painter, Games Workshop obviously do their own, they have a flat side and like a triangular side. I don't know if you can see there that there's a V, kind of a V shape on the top, and they're flush on the bottom. You always want to be cutting with the flush side against the miniature. Otherwise, well, I'll show you. If you cut with this side, you may feel like you've got it flush, but you'll end up with this massive notch on here, and you won't have cut it off. You see that? Whereas if you so you need to make sure you use the flat side to cut it off. Obviously, anyone who has built any miniatures before using these will be well aware of that. Probably be well aware of that. There we go. And took a couple of seconds to explain. And if you didn't know, now you know. Right. Clip this boy off. 2005. It's almost 20 years old. But I guess with Old World, we're getting quite used to that sort of age for models. Because obviously very little new has come out in a long time. So what I'm doing now, again, if this is one of your first time watching a building video, there's a few things on here. Obviously, I'm just cleaning off the bits where we've just clipped it off. And there's also what's called mould lines, which you can just about see on here. There's this additional line rolling down there. And that is where this, basically a sprue, is you have 2 metal blocks which contain half of the detail on each side, and where they connect together, when they pull apart, they'll have the edge, the gap from where they were joining. So on this, you can see that's just along here. So we want to get rid of that because that's not meant to be part of the model. So we just kind of clean that off. I use obviously a knife, but you can, Games Workshop do mould removal tools which aren't sharp. So yeah, so that's an option. But yeah, so this stage is go through and kind of deburr the model, get rid of all of the bits that if you painted it without getting rid of them, you would notice it. And for me, they're a bit of an eyesore. I don't like them. But yeah, depends on how much effort you want to put into cleaning up your models, whether you care. You may not care, which is fine. But I don't know. I've always been extra picky about my models, even when my paint job was atrocious, and you wouldn't have noticed it anyway. There we go. So that's his back done. Let's get the front done. Don't know why I thought I was doing the front. Weirdly. It's been a little while since I put one of these together. Almost 20 years, I guess. I'm pretty sure I put my one together as soon as I got it. When I was a staff member, they just gave each of the store members a giant to build up. I guess they wanted to. It's easier to promote stuff if you get your staff excited about it. Give them all one, and there's no reason why you wouldn't have loads of giants in your store. That was how they rolled back then. I don't know if they do that kind of stuff these days. Alright, cool. Let's get that stuck together. I like to use this Rebel glue. Oops. Because it comes with these nozzles. When I first started buying them, it was the only glue that came like this, with this kind of spout. Games Workshop glue literally came with with an end like that, yeah, and it was quite gunky, and yeah, so this is very runny, which is good, and yeah, you can obviously get it to where you need it with that spout. I think in recent years Games Workshop has basically copied this design, and yeah, so you can use the Games Workshop one. I mean, you can use what you want, but this is the one I have, and it lasts forever, like a really long time. And it used to be £1, now it's a couple of quid, but that's perfectly in line with inflation. So we've got a good join around there. The time when it could be problematic is if, like this, so the bit that I cleaned up here, if we'd have left a lump there, then this wouldn't close properly, and it would push it apart. So if you notice that, so this is called a dry fit, when you put the two pieces together before you glue it, just to see if it all lines up. I mean, there's some gaps, but I don't think there's anything I can really do about that without spending ages hacking away at it, and I really can't bother to do that. So it's an alright fit, it'll do. The glue should go a long way to resolving that issue. So this is this type of glue is called polystyrene cement, which because you may or may not be aware of that, but Games Workshop models are actually made of polystyrene. And I know that sounds strange, because you think of polystyrene as like this white, kind of bubbly, light, fluffy thing that's used for packing your microwave and stuff, and as a material that comes in your cardboard boxes. But yeah, what that actually is expanded polystyrene, which has had air blown through it, or some sort of treatment to puff it up, whereas this is polystyrene that hasn't been puffed up, and it's same same plastic. So this is called polystyrene cement. I don't know if it says that on here actually. It just says liquid glue now for plastics, plastic glue. But yeah, it's polystyrene cement. And what it does is it actually melts the plastic. So if you were to put this on your expanded polystyrene foam that you get in your with your microwave or your washing machine, put some drops of that on it, and yeah, it'll melt through it, which is actually quite fun for making like lava terrain or something. So you can have some good fun with that. So that's fun to do. Recommend doing that in a well ventilated area, I think is what you meant to say here, because it is a solvent, and you can smell that. It smells like old times to me anyway. Cool. So that's his body. Let's do his legs. But yeah, so this is why you use plastic glue or polystyrene cement, is because it physically glues the two pieces, melts the two pieces together into a single piece of plastic. Whereas if you use something else, I meant to do that. If you use something like super glue or like an epoxy glue, you won't have the benefit of melting the two bits together into one piece of plastic. So with super glue, whilst it feels like it's a good idea, actually it will still fall apart because they are still two separate pieces of material. So there you go. Plus, I think generally plastic glue is cheaper, polystyrene cement's cheaper, probably. I don't know if that's true actually. You can get like packs of super glue from pound shops probably, but don't use super glue on plastic miniatures. It's a waste of time. Well, I mean, it's not a waste of time, but certainly you're better off using plastic glue. And like I say, this glue will last you loads longer than the equivalent you could buy in super glue anyway. So there you go. But imagine most people, I can't imagine there's many people who use super glue to glue plastics. When I was a kid, my best mate used to do it the other way around. He used to do plastic glue to glue metal models together, and that that has the opposite effect, because plastic glue, the only reason polystyrene cement works is because it melts, because it has a reaction that melts the polystyrene. So actually, using it on metals, the only reason he was successful in gluing metal models together was because he put so much plastic glue on it that the plastic glue kind of set into this kind of crusty it just dried basically, and so he had a layer of dried residue kind of encasing it and holding it together. It was pretty crazy, but there you go, whatever. I did try and tell him, but he used to balance stuff on paint pots, like to hold it together, whilst the glue just dried around it and kind of encased it. But there we go, each their own. I mean, when he had super glue, he used super glue as well. But it amused me no end. Clearly amused me enough to remember it all these decades later. Decades. That makes me feel real old saying decades. And that was definitely my choice. I don't have to say decades. I could have just said like, yeah, years. It was like, oh, I don't know, 10 years ago. Even 10 years is a decade. Man. It was, yeah, like way over 20 years ago. Sad times. Right, okay, so this is, yeah, this is all done. Okay, so I think we need to glue that together first, and then we'll pop that on there like that. Oh, look at his gut hanging out. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to stick these together first. Oh, where are their connection points again? Like there and there, I think. Yeah. Around his crotch, and there's two like on his hips. So we go. I felt like I saw something that wasn't quite cleaned off. I know it was cleaned off. Okay, we're all good. I keep dropping stuff on the floor. Okay. Hip number 1, hip number 2, and the groin. Oops. Okay, pushed it too hard. There you go, I think that's good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I guess I'll give that a minute before I stick those two together. So the reason I this is a bit of sandwich tie, or you know, you get. In fact, let me show you what it is. Right. So you know, you get these like ties for around like cables and stuff like that. Just when you buy, like, I don't know what you buy these days, like a keyboard or a mouse or something like that, which comes with some ties around its wires. In the center of these, they've got a very thin wire like this, you see. And so I just stripped the plastic off with like my clippers, and I'm gonna fail to do it. Yeah, there you go. And then use that to keep this unclogged. So I don't know if Games Workshop have that issue with theirs, but I mentioned it going crusty. When it dries, it would do the same thing in here. So I just like feed that down inside there to keep it unclogged, basically. So there you go, there's a tip. I don't know, like I say, if you have to do that with other products, that's what I do with this, and that keeps it nice and clean. Right, what's next? According to the book. In the book, what page was it? This page, perfect. His legs, so back and front of each leg, and then stick them on, and his knee pokes through that hole. So there we go. Yeah, we can do that, and then it's whatever arms and hands and heads and stuff you want to use. So yeah, cool. All right, so legs first. Legs, then arms, I guess. Where are the legs? Here they are. This was the first model where I'd ever seen something like this. I'll show you. I'll show you what I mean in a sec. The fact that the knee kind of poked through, it was. I'll explain why they did it as well. But it was a very novel kind of idea, or it certainly felt very novel. I hadn't seen it on any previous models. Yeah, I'll explain why they've done that on this. So, yeah, here we go. So the knee pokes through here. So the reason that has to do that, previously, for most models, this would just be a single piece, perhaps, and yeah, so with a mould line there, and the two bits would clamp down like that, and you could probably get away with that. For this, it would just have to be solid in there, probably. But what you wouldn't be able to do is get this overhang in here, where it looks like a layer of clothes. It would have to be kind of like a straight edge, because again, I mentioned the two plates, two metal plates essentially, sides of the die. As they have to be able to pull away and leave the model there. Now, if that was like that, you'd need an overhang, and if you tried to pull that away, it would just rip through. So that's why this has to be done poking through on a separate piece. But yeah, like I say, it was a genius move. I'd not seen it done before, and it was quite novel. And just something about it gives it an added dimension that you can't get with like a single piece model, because every well, these have got a little bit more flex because they're metal and they're cast in rubber molds, which I guess you'll see with now that Old World, they're bringing a whole bunch of the metals back. But yeah, these are cast with rubber molds. I just noticed that this here, so it's a similar concept, and they still have the two plates, but because it's rubber, it's got a bit more flex, so you can get like overhangs and stuff a little bit that you can't do with the metal. So like this guy's beard here is the rubber will just kind of peel back around it to release the edge of his beard, because the mold line is there. So actually the two halves are joined there, which means this has got an overhang. Now if it was a metal plate, you'd never be able to get this guy out, because the metal would come round here, but because it's rubber, you can literally just kind of pull the rubber back to get him out. But what I just noticed is this this bit here. See between his horn and his axe, it's meant to be a hollow, like that's meant to go all the way through. But that's where the two sides of the rubber, two rubber pieces, two sides of the mold have met. And there's been a bit of a gap, they've not been touching, and so the metal has bled in between the two. So I wonder if I've got this guy, which one's this guy with the metal bit? Yeah, here we go. So you can see this one here on this side has got the hole all the way through, so you can see my finger behind it. Whereas this one over here has not, and it's got metal bled into the gap. There you go. Anyway, that was an aside, just I don't know, thought you might be interested in that. You might not, but I've told you anyway. Right, let's clean these up. So, in fact, before I do, I'm just going to stick these together so that they'll have time to set while I build the, see, no glue needed, while I put the legs. And the other thing you can do, so with this, I mentioned that the glue will fill in the gap, which it has done. I don't know if it's quite ready. Once it's set, because it's basically plastic, you can scrape that away as if it was a mold line, depending on how much you've put in there. But yeah, so you could fill it up and then scrape it out, and then it would disappear completely. I've not done quite that on this. I probably could have done. If I put more plastic in the gap and made it splurge a bit, then it would come out and you'd be able to shave it right off, and the plastic will have filled it completely. But I didn't do that. And up here it's done that. So it's made a bit of a ridge here, and you can do that. But I'll do that a bit later. Yeah. Because it probably hasn't set now. If I try doing it before it's set, it will start to smear. I don't want to smear it particularly. These are lessons learned after having done this for many years. Okay, cool. Great. I really do like this model. It just feels nice and chunky, but it's quite simple to build. So, yeah, approved. Not gluing yet. I'm still deburring, cleaning the model. Right, so we've got a bit of a mold line around here. Let's come off. Yes, one of the things I learned from my siege game was that it's really hard to assault troops on a castle. It's just really hard because you're hitting on six. So climbing up a ladder, you're hitting on sixes. Only like you can only get one trooper on the to climb up a ladder at a time. So you need however many ladders is however many guys get to attack each turn, and they're hitting on sixes, and your opponent counts as behind a defended obstacle. I can't remember if that's why they hit on sixes, but I think you don't get your initiative bonus either. So your opponent might even be hitting first. You might strike last. I'm trying to remember now. But all that to say, it's really hard. You don't get to use your rank bonus or your banner or anything like that. It's just wounds. So yeah, tough. It's really good to be in a castle. You know, who'd have thought? But what that means is it's going to be hard to assault the castle and actually get in, which kind of makes sense. So yeah, for this campaign basically is going to climax in an assault on a Bretonnian castle. So we've got chaos and goblins. Assault on a Bretonnian castle with a high elf relief force, basically. So yeah, trying to get into that castle is going to be tough. I figure if I've got a giant to try and get the gates down. We've got a siege tower with us, so siege towers are good because they level the playing field, kind of actually, but not. They kind of make it a bit easier. Well, loads easier than ladders to assault, but you can only attack with 2 models at a time from a siege tower, so less than with ladders, but they don't have any penalties. So that's good. But yeah, it is only 2 at a time, so they better be a good 2. Otherwise you're heavily outnumbered. But then you're outnumbered with ladders as well, so this one looks like I did it already. Okay, let's glue this one together. Shooting's pretty difficult. I don't know, it's just tough. But then that's kind of fine. But I do want to make it an interesting game and not just get absolutely destroyed by the people in the castle. Particularly if he decides to sally out with a unit of knights. Which, he's Bretonnians. So, he might. How did I manage to mix up these? I was pretty sure. So you remember when I talked about doing a dry fit? Helps if after you've done your dry fit, you pick up the same pieces again. Right. Disappointing. This is the right one that goes over here, right? Yeah. Okay, which I haven't cleaned off yet. Don't know how I managed that. But I did. No, I lie. I didn't actually do a dry fit. There's your reason for doing a dry fit, is to make sure your pieces actually fit together. I just assumed I still had the right pieces before gluing it. Yeah, there we go. That's done. Right. So what I should have done is then like, oh yeah, does this look good? Does this all work? Are there any gaps? Before I glue it together, I just assumed there were no gaps and I had the right pieces, which I didn't. I do want a little bit more glue because the other bit, as much as it didn't fit, did take some of the glue off. Now this, I don't mind there being like a gap on the trousers because it kind of looks like a seam, whereas on skin, it's a lot harder to get away with because your average skin doesn't have much of a seam unless it's like a flesh column. And this giant probably was not stitched together by some mad goblin. Now, if this was in a Skaven army, that would be different. But he's not. Yeah, I do kind of want to get rid of that modline. Maybe I do put a little bit more glue on here. This is risky, but I'm doing it anyway. So I just decided I don't actually want that line. And we can see together if this is a good idea. We'll find out. Quite an experiment. I mean, I've definitely done this in the past, but I don't remember how successful it was. So yeah, there we go. The other thing that was good about this is the way that they've managed to hide the seam, by using hiding the leg in here. So you don't even have to have a good connection particularly because it's all hidden. So that's cool. Again, another genius move. Oh, I just put my fingers all in his nice new skin. That's not nice yet. I should leave him alone till I've built the other leg. Right, let's do that. Let's do the second leg. Although I think the second leg is half done because I already cleaned off one by accident. And yeah, this one is done. This one is not. Now I do like giants in the current rules. Something that I never used to take giants in 6th edition. They were just too easy to kill. Like, you could shoot them with arrows and they would die very quickly. Whereas in this, they've made them toughness 6. Although toughness 5 would be alright against arrows, but they're toughness 6. I'm pretty sure they're toughness 6 now. Means that even like crossbows and handguns need 6s to wound a giant. So that is good. So yeah, it was too easy to shoot them previously because they have no armor. I don't think they got any armor these days. They definitely didn't have any armor previously. So it's like 6 wounds, 5s to wound, dead in like a round or 2 of shooting with no real problems. But now that it's 6s to wound, that gives them a bit more survivability. I had the same issue with manticores actually. Manticores were just rubbish, which was a shame because Dark Elves manticores are cool, but they just died instantly. Like, first turn of the game, shoot them, dead. No, not even hard. So at least now manticores are loads more resilient because you get to use the armor of your guy riding it, because they're just extra toughness and wounds. It's excellent. So yeah, like that I approve of greatly. So my manticores may actually make it back out on the field. Manticores, as if I've got more than one. My manticore may make it back on the field. Finally. Okay, look, dry fit. I've actually got the right pieces, except I knew I had the right pieces because there were only 2 pieces left. There we go. This bit looks like it might give me a little bit of grief because it looks like it wants to bend away rather than hold together. I don't know if I'm holding this close enough to the camera to see, but I could probably put the camera a little bit further down now. It was because I was looking at the book. That's why I left it so high. Maybe down. That way I make sure that it's all easy to see. Because I'm conscious I've been waving stuff about not quite under the camera. So that should be better now. Okay, apologies. And it's been quite far away. Sorry about that. It's taken me, half an hour to realise that my camera's too far away. Alright, let's glue this back together. Sorry, concentrating, can't talk. I feel like Homer Simpson. There's a Simpsons, was it Can't Talk Eating? Something like that, I can't remember all the episodes. Back in the day, Simpsons references were everything for me. Just like little, not quite in-jokes, but almost in-jokes, because it was only the people who'd watched it that would get it. And that was basically me and my mate. We just used to watch Simpsons all the time. So we would use Simpsons references for everything. And still do. They're just like... I haven't watched The Simpsons probably since I was a teenager. I think the last Simpsons thing I watched was the Simpsons movie when that came out in the cinema. And that was like 20 years ago still. So, yeah, maybe. Right, I'm just basically what I'm doing is I'm holding this together because it's going to ping apart, unless it's got enough stick on it to stay together. So let's put it down, but it might ping apart. I'll put it here, and then you can laugh at it when it pings apart and I haven't noticed. I don't know, I can see it somewhere there. Right, okay, so this, I'm putting my finger in, oh no, it's kind of dried. Is it dried enough? Yeah. So this can go on there. It feels like it wants to go in. See this knot looks like it's got the right gap to go right up against that, but it's not for some reason. So either I'm putting it in the wrong place, or I don't know, it doesn't want to. I'm pushing really hard now. Yeah, so it wants to go like that, I think, but I don't know if it will without me. Like, I'd have to put a lot of force in that to get it to stay in that place. So I probably won't. I'll probably just go over it not being quite attached. But it's a little bit annoying having that gap that goes all the way through. But no one will ever notice. It's not like it's going in a cabinet on for Golden Demon or anything. So speaking of Golden Demon, last year me and my son went to Warhammer Fest, and he loved it, which was cool because I thought it was a little bit meh. I was hoping it'd be a bit more like an old games day. It was the first, I'd not been to a Warhammer Fest before, but back when I was, before I was a staff member, when I was a kid, went to games day and it was excellent. And then being a staff member, also very cool. Just like loads of games going on, and so much to see and do. It was very cool. But then Warhammer Fest was. There wasn't much to it, so I felt like it was a bit empty, but like I say, my son loved it. We went for the full extended weekend, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and he really enjoyed it. That was the main thing. He mainly liked getting as much free stuff as possible, which we did manage to come away with a ton of free stuff. How much of it is actually useful, I don't think much of it at all, but the point was, it was memorabilia tap from Games Workshop, so there we go. So yeah, he enjoyed that thoroughly and enjoyed looking at the Golden Demon as well, because they were just, I mean, the Golden Demon stuff is always awesome. People do such a good job, and the cosplay was cool as well. People walking around in like Space Marine armor and knights and all the different kind of stuff was also excellent. Lots of fun, enjoyable to watch. So yeah, so he really enjoyed it, but it didn't happen this year, which is a bit sad. He was gutted by that because he was well looking forward to going again this year. So yeah, I don't really know what's happening with that. The Golden Demon, is it at Essen? I don't know. It's not in the UK this year. So yeah, who knows? It'd be good if they made a proper go at it again, and like back to Games Day standards. That was just really cool. But I guess I don't know why they stopped doing Games Day. Maybe it wasn't as viable as initially thought. But yeah, there we go. Cool. That's his first leg attached, and this one is not pinged apart. Well, it's going to come apart a little bit at the top. Yeah, you can see that stretching the glue. Can you see that? The glue's kind of being stretched apart a bit. But let's try sticking it on his leg, his thigh, and maybe that'll help. Can I hold both of them on at the same time? I shall attempt to. I still need to finish painting my mangler squigs. They're looking at me over there. I can see them. And they've invaded red and still not finished yet. But I do need to finish them. However, I don't think I need them for the siege. I don't know, they feel a bit weird in a siege, and also we're going to be playing a few kind of smaller games leading up to it, and they're all kind of scenario based, and I just don't feel like the Mangler Squigs fit in kind of smaller games. I don't know, but yeah, maybe I'll get them finished for the siege. They can eat high elves or something. I don't know. We'll see. Depends on how I get on and whether I do or not. I'm tempted. So we've got a chaos force. I'm tempted to build and paint a hell cannon, because like when you're sieging a castle, who doesn't want to take a hell cannon? Now the chaos player, so it'll be chaos and greenskin alliance. I say alliance loosely, and he's got a model to use as a hell cannon, but he could take 2. I do own 3 hell cannons. I'm not building and painting 3 hell cannons, but I could do 1. It'd be quite good. And yeah, whilst I will do a video if I do my hell cannon. I will do a video of me putting it together. However, it's not quite as useful as it would have been, because my hell cannon is all metal, and it looks like it's coming out in resin, which is very wise, because the metal hell cannons are a chunk. They literally weigh a ton, well, a kilogram, or more. But yeah, they are heavy. You can definitely kill someone with a hell cannon, for reals, by smashing around the head with it, and it would just disintegrate as well afterwards. Like, it'd get obliterated, but they would certainly regret being hit with it. Right, let's see how this goes. No, it's not quite ready. It's pulling a little bit. It's not quite set, but I think it is gonna kind of do the job. I can feel there are still a few dips, but I think it's much less than it was. Okay, great. So I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I might just stick him on his base. Well, I can't just stick him on his base. He needs his feet first. Now, if I'd have thought about it, I probably could have added this guy to my foot of Gork and changed his head or something, so I had a couple of different guys running away. But there we go. Oh, I need some feet. These feet have got 5 toes, 4 toes, 3 toes, and where's the other one? Oh, they're on the other one. Oh, this one has got 2 toes, if you can count them as toes. Hoof. But yeah, so 2 toes, 3 toes, and 4 toes, but no 5 toes. Fine, you can have 4 toes, I guess. It's the most normal looking of the feet. Oh, it's got a tiny little stub here, so it's a little bit mutated. I guess the thing with the giants is they're all meant to be inbred, because they were like the leftovers of the Sky Titans that the what are they called, ogres, managed to annihilate the race of Sky Titans, and they like captured them, and then they've been inbred, and now they're all kind of a janky race that's a shadow of their former glory. Imagine that, Sky Titans. I guess that's what the sons of Behemat are in Age of Sigmar, is a return to the Sky Titans and kind of reliving that glory. That's pretty cool. I do like that kind of aspect of Age of Sigmar. Things like Sky Titans and the Edeneth Deepkin, although they are a bit weird, the Deepkin, but that again is a call to the there's always been the fishmen kind of rumour circulating in the old world, kind of like the Skaven. Skaven aren't real if you live in the Empire, according to certain people, witch hunters. However, the fishmen actually occupy that kind of category of, are they real, are they not real? And there were very old models of fishmen for Warhammer. But yeah, so they're kind of in that real category that Skaven kind of pretends to occupy. Of the Skaven aren't real, but fishmen, are fishmen real? Are they still in the lore? Who knows? But yeah, so the Edeneth Deepkin kind of play on that, and the Sons of Behemat play on the Sky Titans. So it's cool kind of nods in Age of Sigmar. There is, in the old Dark Elf books, there was always talk about a race of subterranean creatures that lived in the underpass, or I can't remember what it was called now. It's been a long time since I've thought about the Dark Elf underway, is it? Underway? That they used to sell their black arcs inland. Where the scouts, what are they called? Dark Elf scouts. Man, it's been such a long time since I've actually played with. That's really sad. Dark Elves have been my the first army that I ever bought was Dark Elves, and they've been my like, I don't know. They followed me the entire way through. I've got like 20,000 points of Dark Elves, which is unnecessary, and it will grow as I'm sure I'll get more Dark Elves. But the Dark Elf Scouts, Rangers, what do you call them? Why have they gone from my head? Are they just called Scouts? Oh man, how do I not remember that? I felt like they had a better name than Scouts. Maybe they were just Scouts. Yeah, so those guys, in theory, used to catch the cold ones under in the underway, whatever it's called. Man, why am I'm so rusty. Well, I've been preoccupied with orcs and goblins and dwarves and other stuff to get back into my Dark Elves, but yeah, that makes me really sad. And I'll probably look at it and be like, oh, it is underway in the Arcod Scouts. I just feel like they've got better names than that. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yes, so there's in the Dark Elf lore, there is a subterranean race which they encounter when they go hunting for cold ones, which weirdly live underground rather than in Lustria. They certainly did back in 5th edition anyway. Whether that's still true today, I don't know. Okay, cool. I mean, that was back before they rode cold ones. They did make Hutchi's Raiders, is that what it was called? Who rode horned ones, which weren't the same as cold ones. Right, okay. So, this is his feet. 1 foot there, that fits very nicely. Yep, very good. And this one in there. Also very good. There we go. Nice. You can stand up and everything already. How exciting. Cool. Okay, so next we need to choose some arms for him. Let me just put the glue back on. Okay. Okay, now I need to decide what arms to give him. So, I mean, it's really hard to tell. I think each of these is a pair of arms, maybe. I might just have to cut them all out and see which ones I like attached on. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the options are in terms of hands. He's going to obviously have some sort of club in one hand. The other hand, I guess, is open. I don't want him holding anyone, so he can be holding. The gibbet or the or a guy. There's an open hand. I think those are the options. Let me see. There's a fist, open hand, another open hand, or holding a guy. I don't want him holding a guy, so do I want the fist? And the fist, I think, is for holding this. Somehow, somewhere, don't know where. I think I'll probably go with that open hand. Maybe. Same, I can't just give him like double-handed holding that baseball styling. Yeah, okay. So we'll probably want him reaching out then with that hand. So we've got these are dragon scales for if he's he's all got dragon scales. These are just a separate one somewhere. Where are they? Why can't I see them? They're on the other one. Oh yeah, not dragon scales, that's cool. So there's a poor knight's gear which goes on the other arm. Like that, I guess. Yeah, like that. That's not what I thought. So the dragon arm's the same. Oh, would have made sense. So obviously there's one of these guys has got let's see, dragon pelt, dragon I can't see from that side. Dragon skull, which is used to make his club, and then dragon jaw, which hangs down round his face. So there's a whole kind of dragon themed guy, but I'm surprised these are on the same arm. It would have made sense for one of the dragon, one on each side, so that you can build the dragon themed guy. Kind of thought that was a thing, but maybe not. Okay, well, whatever. We're not building the dragon themed one, I don't think. No, I don't think so. I think we kind of want to build this Empire Barrel, Empire Tombstone. Maybe we go with this one. And it's got a loincloth if we want it. So we don't actually need a loincloth. Looking at this, it's completely optional. Doesn't have to have one. Oh yes, there we go. There's a picture of him there. Yeah, it's going to look a lot like this one, but without the cage. This is kind of what I want to go for. Do I go for that club with spiky bits, or do I go with the one with a gravestone? Could go either way, I think. Don't know. We'll get there in a minute. So this is where like the shields and stuff go. So yeah, if there's more of a reaching arm, we'll go with a reaching arm. Let's see, this one I guess will be more forwards. That one, kind of with a reaching hand, we could do that. Or this one, but this one's more kind of a swinging, well, steadying himself kind of thing. Yeah, I think this one. If he had this one, we could go with the clenched fist, I guess. Okay, where's the other arms? Well, those are two for up. That one is for swinging the chain. He's got this bit of masonry on a chain, which he can be swinging. So that's what that kind of pulled back arm is for, I think. Unless, I guess he could have his club back there. Maybe a club back there. Because the other option is, where's the other option is? Club held forwards, like that. Let's think. The slave giant that I've got is swinging back like that, I think. Yeah, because he's swinging. I actually made him swing this millstone. And I switched it out and hung it on the end of the chain. Just because I wanted something different. I like my guys to be different. Oh yeah, there's this other option, is he could have a chaos stone. Chaos kind of obelisk menhir stone thing that you could carry, but I don't think I want to do that. So maybe, no, I don't want to do a swinging club, because, well, maybe I could do actually. The reason I like the idea of the swinging club is because it's different to the one in the picture. I like to build my stuff different, but that's not necessarily a good reason. Maybe it does look kind of cool up like that. It's different because the classic Marauder giant has his club down here, so maybe it is better to have it go out like that. I'm trying to think. Well, I've got the Giants of Albion. One's got a rock above his head, like the Cygor style-y. What's the other one got? I actually can't remember how the other Giant of Albion is. Maybe we'll do the club up then, so that gives him something different. So we'll go club up. We'll go with that one, not that one. We'll put that one to the side. Go club up. And hand forwards. Yeah, reach in. Maybe he's gonna like grab a dragon by its throat and then club it with the head. With the with the club. Alright, so we've chosen our arms. Actually, let's see if this is dry enough now. Yeah, okay. So before I put arms in the way. So there we go. So that's now blended that very nicely. So once that's painted, you can't see it so well, but it's pretty flush. So that's good. Much better than having a kind of a dent in him. This is still a little bit tacky underneath. It's just the top layer that's dry. But I'm pleased. It was the right move. Okay, all the top tips today. Yeah, it's a bit tacky under there still. My only concern is if I leave it until I've put the arm on, I might not actually be able to have the space to be able to do this properly. And I do need to clean the arms off still, get them prepped. Yeah, it's still a bit tacky on this side for some reason. But I can slice it instead of scraping it. It just does the job nicely. Alright, I think that's pretty good. Pretty happy with that. And we've got the top as well. Almost there. I'm slicing it rather than scraping it because it is still a little bit tacky, and I'm impatient. The slicing doesn't pull it away like the scraping does. But I feel like slicing is a bit more of a risk. You don't get as well, I was going to say you don't get as neat a finish. The whole reason I'm slicing instead of scraping, so I do get a neat finish. Alright, fine. We are more or less there. Cool, that's good. Right, let's see what we've got to do with these arms. We've got some bits that need sorting out. If I don't get rid of this bit here, it'll make a gap when I try and glue it in, because it'll get in the way. So that's why I'm getting rid of that. These are a bit trickier in the centre. I could go and get a file, but even then it might not be all that good. Again, it's the kind of thing you could leave and probably no one will look at. But I just struggle to bring myself to do that. I know my son built a giant, I don't know, a little while back. I can guarantee he didn't clean a single mould line off. So it's each to their own, really. And he feels no guilt, won't even notice that they're there. So yeah, maybe I've ruined it for you now that I've shown you they exist. Otherwise you might never have noticed them. Well, there you go. I don't remember when I first started cleaning mould lines off my models. I'd have to look back at old stuff and see if they've got mould lines on them to know if I cared. Don't remember when it became a thing. I can pretty much guarantee I didn't think about it when I first started. Dunno. I mean, I'm guessing. I feel like I didn't. But I can't remember a switch. Right, I can glue this one on. That's not the right arm. There you go. That fits so nicely. Now there is a risk if you put too much glue in, which I may well have done, there is splurging out where you didn't actually need any splurge, because this again is covered by the seam will be hidden by the rope tied around his arm. Yeah, there's too much glue on this, but I'm probably not going to do much about it. Yeah, this didn't need much glue because the seam was well hidden, the join. Oh, there we go. Right. Cool. Let's clean the next one. The other benefit, of course, about cleaning all of the pieces before you glue them on, is it gives a bit of time for the ones you just done to set, because that can certainly be a problem if you don't have something to give you time between gluing each of the pieces together. You can end up in a big sticky mess, stuff falling apart as you're trying to do it too quickly. So that is a thing. And I've definitely been there before. I do like building models. I like having lots of stuff built, armies built. I never used to play with painted armies, mainly because I used to, well, enjoy playing more than painting. And that's probably still true. And what that meant is I just spent all my time playing instead of painting. Or building for playing. Having the models available to play with, more interesting than painting them. But it's just so nice seeing fully painted armies. Since, I don't know, like for the last few years I've only played with fully painted armies, I think. Although, saying that, that's not true. My first couple of games of Old World, I had a couple of units that weren't painted, but were just splayed black, so it's not strictly true. But most of them were painted, and that's what matters, because I basically went through most of my Warhammer life playing with unpainted armies, because I just love building, I love the game. I do like painting, but I don't know, I just I get distracted too easily and find myself not finishing units before moving on to the next one. Exhibit A right here, the Mangler squigs, which are waiting to be finished. I do need to finish them. However, I don't see them as a priority over getting ready for this campaign, because I need other stuff painted for the campaign, and I'm not convinced I need them. So that's why I do find that having like a game to play really spurs me on for getting stuff painted. So like playing that Siege with my son at the weekend, I got sorry, just sneezed. I got the siege tower painted up the quickest possible way, and also some ladders sprayed and painted, which I did spend like 10 minutes doing that. So it's a real incentive to get stuff done, painted up. And like I've done those speed painting videos, painting up Empire artillery for games. It's just a big old incentive to get stuff painted, particularly if I'm recording a video. I can't be using unpainted stuff in a video. That would be rubbish. Right, okay, so what's next? He needs the shields on his hands. He needs shields on his arm. Yeah, and we'll do his hands, I guess. Right, where are the shields? I'm going to put this back in here before I forget. I'm trying to do it too quick, bending it. Right, let's put that away. What am I looking for? It's on the other screen. Looking for this. This bracer. Yes, some poor knight has given up his gear. The Marauder Giant is wearing like a knight's leggings. What are they? What, metal greaves? Is it for his arm on his fingers, and has got like a chest plate or something on his hand. So it's just like a full knight that he's managed to he's killed at some point and repurposed his stuff. Kind of like this. This probably is a nod back to the old Marauder Giant. It's cool they made the Marauder Giant available again. Even if I didn't need it. Is it just, was it made to order? Yeah, it was probably just for made to order, wasn't it? I don't know. Rather than being out full time. The 6th edition Giant is out, a perpetual Giant. And the Forge World massive Giant, can't remember what he's called, but he is massive. He's like 3 times the size of one of these. If I had the money, I would definitely get it, but I do not. Which is why I never got it when it was out originally. Okay, let's see. Do I go spiky and move that way again? You know what? I'll do this one because I know that I want this hand. Yeah, I think I will go spiky. Spiky club. As in with swords and axes and stuff wedged in it. At some point I'll build my 6th edition Giant to go. I want to do, well, I've got a Savage army. I've got a couple of units of Savage Orcs painted for it, but I want to do all my Forest Goblins at some point to go with it and have a Savage army. And for some reason I feel like the 6th edition Giant looks good in a Savage army for Orcs and Goblins. He just feels like he fits there, to me anyway. I think it's probably because the Savage Orcs have got like skins that they wear, and the 6th edition Giant comes with one of the heads is where this is taking its dragon kind of cues from. It's got dragon skin and dragon jaw and stuff. So yeah, I feel like that fits quite nicely. Cool. That's all of the mould lines on here. Okay. So this will go on here. So I'm reaching out. I'm gonna do it like that. I'm gonna do it like that. Like that, I think. You know what? I'm gonna stick it on and then I can twist it around to my heart's content. Well, I say that. I can twist it around for a little bit till it gets stuck. I think that looks alright actually. Yeah, that looks about right. Yes. Pretty good. Hold there. Great. Alright. Cool. He's got that hand. That was the easy one. You know what? I could actually stick him on his base. Nah, I'll stick him on his base a minute. Okay, so this club. And the other side is this one, I think. Yes, it is that one. See, I quite like this one, but I'm not sure. I probably would want it without the gravestone, I think. See how we go in this one. Well, that hand only has 3 fingers, whereas this one has 4 fingers. No, I don't think they are interchangeable, are they? No, they're not. He is meant to have that one then. If he's got his 4 hands. 4 hands, 4 fingers. Maybe I do that one. Unless I give him 3 fingers. That's the 3-fingered one. How much do I care about how many fingers he's got? I kind of do care. Annoyingly. So maybe I will just give him one. Fine, I'm giving him the other one. Just because it's got an extra finger. That's annoying, isn't it? Kind of. But I don't mind. Gravestone. That's what the 6th edition Giant has a tombstone as well. And if I want to be different, maybe I should. You know what? I'm going to stick with this one. It's going to have 3 fingers, just because I want my giants to be as different as possible. That's the key reason. Alright. 3 fingers on this hand. You can tell I'm not most enthusiastic about that, but I'll go over it. Clearly, he's got some issues. And you know what? That kind of makes sense. one. This one is pretty good, actually. Very few mould lines, or that are visible in a way that I won't wreck it. Trying to get rid of them. Most of them like go along the edge of these blades, and I don't care enough about that. That's fine, and an appropriate place for them to be. Okay. Very good. Stick this bad boy together. Looks a bit weird in there, doesn't it? But I guess it's fine. Changing my mind instantly. Decided that bit is not fine. So this is where, as I mentioned previously, it has to pull straight away. I don't know if you can even see what I'm getting irked by, but this sword here has just got this little wedge in between it. Doesn't make any sense. So, there we go. That's better. Yeah, okay, that is better. Right, now why is that not going together particularly well? Is it meant to be split all the way down there? I'd prefer if it wasn't, I think, but it looks... maybe that's how it's meant to be, I guess. And it's got to be split somewhere. Alright. Glue these together. I can work out where I should be gluing it. Definitely need glue here. And definitely need glue here. And here. But I've probably put too much glue on now, and it's going to splurge out. Maybe not, maybe it's fine. Just need to hold it there, I think. Right, let's put this on. I don't know if you can hear the sound of the glue pinging apart. Kind of gonna have to hold that for a minute, I think. It's the most exciting part, where I just sit here and hold it in silence. That needs holding at the top as well, actually. Bottom and the top. Right. I think for the siege battle, I'm gonna hopefully get my my Nurgle snail involved. We've got a chaos force, so I feel like a snail could scale the castle walls quite easily. In terms of what to count it as, I thought about counting it as a giant. Like, it is massive. I'll grab it. You know what? I'll grab it now while I hold this. It is absolutely huge. So I made this a very long time ago, back before Storm of Chaos even. Let me show you what it looks like. So you can see how big the giant is next to it. So this snail is humongous. Here's the giant. Here's the snail. That's my mollusk of Nurgle. I made it when the... So my iPhone just ran out of storage. I just had to, right when I'm recording, it just comes up. It's like, oh, you're out of storage. I just had to spend a while deleting loads of photos and stuff. Anyway, so what was I saying? This guy, yeah. So I made him for my Beastman army because when the Beastman rulebook came out in 6th edition, I had a story which included a mollusk of Nurgle. I was like, I want a mollusk of Nurgle. So I made this guy. Went to I lived near Eastbourne at the time, and they got loads of souvenir shops in Eastbourne. Well, I worked in the Eastbourne store, didn't I? So I bought that shell from a souvenir store, seashell, and then proceeded to use expanding foam to make the snail. Stuck up a bunch of spawn parts in him, and some Nurglings climbing all over him, and yeah, he became my mollusk of Nurgle. And when Storm of Chaos came out, they brought out Nurgle chariots, so I just used it as a chariot. But I figure for my plan is to somehow get it into our siege game. And like I say, I was thinking of using him as a giant horse. He's a lot bigger than a giant though, in terms of like actual size. Let me put him there. You can see he's, wait a minute, I'm going to show you, he is absolutely massive compared to a giant. So yeah, but anyway, I figure I might just use him as an Arachnarak spider, because in terms of like size, he's on basically the same size base as an Arachnarak spider. Kind of wounds and stuff could probably be about the same, and yeah, I think he should be able to. Basically, I'll count him as being equipped with ladders, so he can climb up the walls, basically. So yeah, I feel like that'll probably do. And technically, I'm using a Goblin army, so so he can be an Arachnarak spider in my army, but actually, essentially, be a Chaos model. There we go. Yeah. Anyway, that was a bit of a little bit of an aside, plus fangling around with my phone mid explanation. Put him back over here. There we go. Right. Anyway, where were we? Before I got distracted by many things. So this guy, this is now. I was holding this the entire time whilst sorting out the storage space on my phone. So it's had plenty of time to set. So this is going to go, we've got a few options. I mean, what kind of angle do I want it? Maybe this angle. I'm probably going to glue his head on first, so I don't accidentally glue it in the way of his head. So let's pick a head. I did think about this head, but this one has got like this. It's essentially got a strap tied around it, because this is the head that's meant to have the jaw of the dragon strapped on it. So unless I want him looking like he's got some sort of bandana, that's not gonna work. So I guess I'll use so I don't want to use this one, because that looks a bit chaotic. And this one my Dark Elf Slave Giant has. So the only head left is this one, which is fine. I use that one. It looks a little bit. See, if I was going to make a Empire Giant, I would definitely use this head. But there we go. I don't think Empire can use giants, of any sort at the moment. Yeah. So maybe they bring out the Dogs of War. Oh no, they can use the massive giant. Yeah, the massive giant is a mercenary, isn't it? If I recall. I don't actually have the arcane journal. In fact, I don't have any arcane journals yet. I need to rectify that. I really want to get the dwarf one, and I think I should get the chaos one, because if I can get it in time, I can base our campaign next month on the chaos kind of incursion. Use that map, and that'd be quite good. Because on the very left-hand side of the map is an arrow that points down as part of the Chaos Incursion into Britannia. So we can play it as part of that narrative. So that'd be quite good to tie in with what's going on. Cleaning mould lines off his chin. Yeah, it'd be good to have my friends over. We don't live particularly close anymore. Now that I live in Pembrokeshire and they're in East Sussex, it's good of them to come visit for my birthday. Have play some Warhammer. Very good, just like old times. We've played some Blood Bowl more recently. Wow, saying that, when was it? I don't know. We've done a couple of like little Blood Bowl tournaments between us, just as four mates hanging out. We've done, what have we done? We did a normal Blood Bowl tournament. We've done a Dungeon Bowl tournament. We planned to do sevens, but I don't think did that ever materialise? I'm not sure it did. The three of us went up to Warhammer World. Would have been last year now. Yeah, over a year ago. Time flies. And we played in the Blood Bowl. Oh, what was it? I can't remember. It was 3 days worth of Blood Bowl, a sevens tournament, a Blood Bowl tournament, and a Dungeon Bowl tournament. I think my mate might have won the sevens tournament. He certainly got a medal, and it was a gold medal. I'm pretty sure he won the sevens tournament. I managed to come second in the Blood Bowl tournament, which was awesome. Didn't expect that. And the guy who won the sevens tournament won the Max Spleen Ripper Award. I think that's who it was. Of the Blood Bowl tournament, because he took Chaos Dwarves and managed to kill lots and lots of people. So that was good. Good fun. And then the only game that I lost in the Dungeon Bowl tournament was against our other mate. That was very disappointing. And none of us won anything, but that's fine. My Dungeon Bowl team is like the beardiest team ever, I think. It's basically 2 Wood Elf War Dancers and a Wood Elf Catcher. It's a life team, and they've got a 1 rot spawn, 2 rot spawn. They've got 2 rot spawn, two War Dancers, 2 rot spawn, a Wood Elf Catcher, and then loads of Snotlings, and 8 rerolls. And seeing as you can use as many rerolls as you like each turn, the War Dancers basically just play the game and use all the rerolls. But so Love it. That's how to build a beardy Dungeon World team, in my opinion, anyway. But yeah, so they did some epic moves. The Snotling and War Dancer combo is excellent, and Rotspawn, because they're like solid and have tentacles, and it's just such a great team. The first time, so when we did our Dungeon World tournament between us, I took that team, but I didn't take 8 rerolls, and I took a load of Nurgle. I can't remember the Rotters, not the Rotters, the Nurgle Warriors, but I can't remember what they're called these days, Bloaters maybe. And they were alright. Oh yeah, I took a Tree Man, a Rotspawn, like a load of Bloaters, the 2 Wood Elves. I might have taken some Halflings, can't remember. So that was my first kind of attempt, and then I realised the War Dancers basically were the team. And so I figured I'd just focus on giving them what they needed to win the games for me, which basically was loads of rerolls. I realised when I put glue on his head, this bit actually isn't touching the bit, because that's like a curve and that's flat. So the glue wasn't actually doing anything. But I've probably just put a little bit too much on. No, it's fine. It's all good. Kind of all good. There's definitely some bubbles coming out. Cool, alright. I bent his beard somehow. Don't know how. But I mean, it's beard, so it can be a bit wavy. Just wavy is not quite the same as bent. Oh. Don't know what's going on there. Clearly I didn't clean that off properly. Never mind. Right. I got distracted by reminiscing about Dungeon World. Good times. Yeah. Blood Bowl is one of my favourite games auction games. Oh, did I just put that away when I literally need to put someone there? There we go. Oh no. Put it away. Or maybe I don't need to put it away, because the next thing is to glue him onto his base. Yeah, Blood Bowl is one of my favourite games. If you've not played Blood Bowl, I thoroughly recommend it. It is excellent. And I was going to say, a good way to kind of dip your toe into Blood Bowl is to buy the game on Steam. But I mean, I guess so. Blood Bowl 1 is like a £5, maybe less, on Steam. The majority of the game is the same. There's a few tweaks to it. Blood Bowl 3 is the current rule set, but it's just more expensive. But I guess it depends on how much you're willing to spend. It's not extortionate, it's just not like a £5. But yeah. Or find someone who's already got Blood Bowl teams and ask them to give you a game, show you how to play. But it's well worth it. I love it so much. Yeah, he looks cool. Do I want to move this around a bit? What angle do I want him to be holding that at? Kind of feels like it wants to be that angle naturally. But I kind of feel like I want him to be holding it up a bit more, which I can do. Like that. Not sure that matches with his arm so much though. Maybe there. Okay, cool. This is good. Getting them done. Yeah. It's meant to go like that, I think. We're behind. I don't know how many accessories I really want to put on him. The more accessories there are, the more I have to paint. And I'm conscious I've got limited time before our campaign. And I've got, well, I'm going on holiday, going away for work, lots of stuff happening. So the easier I make my life in terms of getting ready, the better. So I think no accessories is the way that I want to go for this guy. The less accessories I have, the easier it is to, well, paint and put in other armies, I was going to say. Kind of is for my goblins. I mean, I feel like you probably should have a whole bunch of accessories on them, but I just don't want to have to paint them all. Okay. Why is he so tricky to put on? He's meant to go there, I think. There's that. Oh, something about that is not right. So here, it looks like it's got a place for his foot to go, like that, something like that, maybe. But it doesn't quite fit there, not like I was hoping. Does his foot go there? Yeah, maybe there, I guess. Okay, it does go there. I feel like I've wiped off most of the glue, trying to fangle around with him. Let's put it back on. Fangle is a technical term, just in case you're wondering. There we go, got him, found him. That's where he's meant to go. I probably will stick some sand over this. I know it's got texture on it already, but I think I want, yeah, I'm going to put some sand on it, on his base, in the right places. Is there anything else I want to put on him? It's hard, because I kind of want some accessories, but I really don't want to have to paint more stuff than I need to paint. He's got barrels, he's got bags, shields, clubs, cows. There's a whole host of things. He's even got hair. I could put hair on him. Do I want to put hair on him? Again, not if I don't have to. I think I'd probably prefer him to be bald. But he does have like a strand of hair I can stick on him. I don't want him to have that hair. Okay, yeah, that's good. Right, I think the only thing left to do is stick sand on. But I don't have the sand and glue to hand, so I'm not going to do that today, I don't think. So, maybe I should, because next time I just want to spray him and then get started. Maybe I'll stick some sand on him, on his base. Anything else? Nah, he's got that. Do I give him a barrel or a bag? I mean, it'd look cool, but it's more stuff to paint. I really don't want to be painting more stuff at the moment, I don't think. He does look quite bare though without anything. But that could be okay. Maybe it's fine. It's fine. I'm not sticking loads of bits on him. This is decided now. Officially decided, right? Let me go and grab the glue and the sand. Right, so let's put some glue on. This could take a while. Oh no, I'm knocking everything. Right, let's put this down here. This brush is a little small for this, but it's the only one I've got to hand that's nice. The biggest one, I don't know if it feels like the most appropriate one of the brushes that I have to hand. This is just PVA, just for anyone watching who's not based anything before. Basically what I'm doing is I'm sticking PVA on here, and then I'll dunk it in this here pot of sand to give it some texture. Whilst it does have texture already on it, it's kind of a rounded texture. I want a more coarse texture to match the rest of my army. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Really, I should tip some glue out and have it on a palette, but I'll tip out way more than I need, and it'll just end up being wasted. I know it's just PVA, but there we go. Yeah, I guess you can't see what I'm doing. Here, let me just quickly show you. I've got this giant thing here, it's massive. I'm dipping my brush in there. And it's really far down. I can't even see what I'm doing, and I can't. We both can't see what I'm doing at the same time. So there we go. Never mind. I think that was thrilling, wasn't it? But yeah, now you know what I'm doing off camera. I'm trying to dip my brush. It's quite far down. So that's why it's taking me a while to get some PVA on my brush each time. This is definitely not the most efficient way of putting glue on the base, but never mind. We'll get there. We're like half done. Small brush, a very inefficient way of getting the glue. I mean, couldn't be better, could it? Kind of tempted to dunk him in sand, the bit that's done. Every time when I leave it, it seems to kind of like peel away from or pull in the recesses, I guess is what's happening. So I'll just quickly spread this out and then dunk this half in the sand. Because otherwise, it'll end up, the sand won't be very well glued and will just kind of pull off when I'm painting it. Although, I will stick grass on any of the bits that have looked nerf. Anyway. The Chinese tub of sand. There we go. That's the first half done. Let's carry on around the back. Also, I've just realised the giant is in the way, so you can't actually see half of what I'm doing. I'll basically just putting glue on his base. I do like a good scenic base. The only problem with the scenic base is it's more stuff to paint. The thing is, that's the only problem with the scenic base. It's fine. You'd get the impression that I don't like painting, but I kind of do. I'm just in a bit of a hurry. Like, not today, but in terms of getting prepped, getting everything I need done for our campaign. Lots to do, not enough time to get it all done in. Which is why I'm being stingy on accessories for this guy. But yeah, it'd be cool to have him in my Goblin army. This brush is seriously the worst brush for doing this job. Kind of. The reason I'm saying that is because it doesn't hold much glue at a time. And this base is so big that it's the PVA is just not playing fair. Pulling away quicker than I can paint it. And let's do this side, just so I don't have to spread the PVA out again. Okay, we are getting close to being done with the glue, so that's good. I do like to stick rocks on my base as well, but this comes pre-rocked. So there you go. I almost wanted to make a joke about how rocks my world, but it doesn't. So, cool. There we go. That is just about done. Right, there it goes. There we go. There we go. Lots of lovely sand all over it. And I definitely didn't stick any glue on his foot, so that sand is just there. Because. Great! There we go. Let's just knock this off, and then we are done. And just quickly dust off his foot. With my old school tank brush. I say old school. This is more old school. A red brush rather than a blue brush. Anyway, there we go. Right, cool. So that is one giant done. Ready to join my little goblin war. Join Gitrak, Head Splitters, Warband. And he's slowly building up a decent warband. One day it'll be a war. Cool. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Hopefully there was something interesting in that. And I'll catch you again in the next video.